In recent weeks, a new controversy has taken over the WNBA. Players have been wearing shirts reading, "Pay us what you owe us," demanding that they receive 50% of league revenue, the same percentage that the NBA players receive. At first glance, it sounds like a fair request. If the NBA's athletes get half of the league's earnings, why shouldn't the WNBA players get the same amount? But when you look at the actual numbers, the economics, and the reality of professional sports, this demand isn't just unrealistic. It's absurd. Here's what's actually happening. In 2022, the WNBA made just $60 million in total revenue. In 2023, that jumped to around 180 to 200 million as merch sales and viewership surged. By 2024, they reached roughly 200 million, fueled by record finals and a future media rights deal worth 2.2 billion over 11 years, starting 2026. The total revenue over the last 3 years is about 440 million to 460 million US dollars. Sounds good, until you remember the NBA pulls in around 10 billion US dollars per year. And even with rising revenue, the WNBA still loses tens of millions annually, with new costs like charter flights alone estimated in the tens of millions per year. Who's covering that loss? The NBA. For decades, the NBA has been subsidizing the WNBA, footing the bill to keep the league alive. Now players are asking to jump from roughly 9% of revenue, which is around 18 million, to 50%, which would be around 100 million, overnight. That's a 5-fold increase in salaries without any corresponding jump in ticket sales, sponsorships, or TV deals. This isn't a pay rise. It's demanding money that does not exist. Let's imagine, just for a moment, that they got what they wanted. Total player salaries would rise from about 18 million to $100 million. The league, already losing millions annually, would suddenly bleed well over 100 million every single year. The only way to afford that would be to gut everything else. Fire trainers, medical staff, and development coaches. Remove most of the media, camera crews, and production teams. Cut arena costs and move games into children's basketball courts or small gyms. Broadcast on iPhones over TikTok Live instead of national television. Because after you hand out half of all revenue to players, there's nothing left to pay for the hundreds of people behind the scenes who make a professional sports league even possible in the first place. Think about it. Trainers earn around 70,000 US dollars a year. Game day crew, statisticians, sound engineers, camera operators, thousands of dollars per game. Marketing, logistics, and travel coordinators, millions annually. Referees, team staff, and security, millions more. All of these people don't get a raise under this plan. They get fired or their budget slashed to pay players money that isn't there. This is where the hypocrisy comes in. Players say, "We're not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We just want the same percentage." But let's be honest. The percentage itself would destroy the league at current revenue levels. It's not fair compensation, it's financial suicide. And without the NBA subsidies, the WNBA likely wouldn't exist at all today. It's like a cashier at McDonald's demanding 50% of all global revenue, just because they are the ones making the money go into the cash registry. Sure, sounds nice, But it's delusional when the business is barely breaking even and corporate headquarters is already covering your losses. If WNBA players truly want higher pay, the solution isn't to demand money that doesn't exist. They need more viewers, higher ticket sales, and larger broadcast deals. That's how the NBA got its 50% player revenue share. It built a multi-billion-dollar global brand first. Right now, demanding half the league's income would collapse the WNBA into a semi-pro, low-budget version of itself, played in tiny gyms and live-streamed on phones. They're a fast track to bankruptcy. This isn't about tearing anything down. It's about looking at the numbers and being honest about what's sustainable. Part 2 will focus on realistic paths to making women's sports profitable. Click on screen to watch the next video. I would appreciate it if you leave your opinions in the comments, leave a like and subscribe for more. Catch you next time.